Now, when these legs are working properly, what you're going to do is when this is in the folded position, they'll be snapped together just like that. But what I'm going to do is after I get this all together, I'm going to show you one of the easiest ways to be able to set up and take down your board. The next thing you want to do is we'll go ahead and set the handle while we're right here. The handle's fairly easy. All you're going to do is you're going to measure from the top. Your board is 40 inches. You're going to measure from the top, centered down to 20 inches, and make your line there. And again, you're going to measure from the side, either side, 24, so you have a center crosshair. Take your handle and center it. You can do that by eye. This is not critical. And center it. Once you have it like that, make a mark on one corner and then go to the opposite corner and make another mark for where you're going to drill those holes through. You only need 2 screws to attach this. 4 is just not necessary. Take 2 of your T-nuts, now you may have to crawl underneath for this one, and then pound these up in. Place your handle back over the screw holes. Take another 2 of the short screws that you have and go ahead, tighten those down in. Don't tighten one until you have the other one in, because sometimes you have to work them a little bit if they haven't lined up just right. Okay, as you can see, my T-nut fell down through, so just give me a second. Get that T-nut back in. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one in first, since it wants to fall down, and then I'll line this one up. Maybe I'll have be able to get this one easier. If you've got 2 sets of hands on doing something like this, sometimes it might help to have somebody, put a little pressure on that T-nut for you while you try to get the screws in. Snug them down pretty good. There's your handle. Now we're almost done. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to put the T-nuts and the bolts through. They're going to hold your paint kit on. Now, some people don't like to use these. They feel it's hazardous. That's up to you. You can either put them on there or not. Maybe you have a different way of carrying your paint kit, setting your paint kit up. Some guys feel that if they set the paint kit, put the paint kit on the board, if the board falls, so does the paint kit. But you should always have your board secured. We're going to talk about that at the end here. What you're going to do now is you're going to take your tape measure and your pencil, and you're going to measure 2 inches up from the bottom and 2 inches over from the side, and make your mark there. The next thing you're going to do is you're also going to measure over 11 inches from the bottom, make a mark, and then you're going to measure up 2 inches and make crosshairs on that.
Maybe you can move those legs or something. I can't really see where your marks are.
It's not going to help you. Move the legs out.
Oh, just to be able to.
Go ahead and drill your hole. Go ahead and take 2 T-nuts. These are actually going to go in from the back. And pound that in. Now you're going to find that you have 2 T-nuts in your box that already have nuts going or bolts going through them. The prongs have been taken off. These are going to get attached from the front of the board now. In other words, from underneath. Let's go ahead and get them started. Both of them. And then tighten them down. You want to make sure that these are very secure. It's going to hold your paint kit on. If you have any leftover hardware, a few T-nuts, a few nuts, ask yourself why, like I have right now. And I'm looking, I'm saying, well, as I can see, everything is already secured. So I just must have had a few more things left in my box, in my bag of goodies there. So as you can see, this now looks like the back of that one. And now what I want to do is I want to show you the easiest way of setting up your board. Now, sometimes people will take the board, Mick, let's go over this way a little bit. Some people take the board and stand it up so that these legs are up toward you, and at that point you can separate these legs and snap them into place. Again, these are going to work a little hard in the beginning. If you spray them with some WD-40, it'll loosen them up a little bit. Go ahead and snap those into place just like that. Now take your board and you want to flip it up so you got the bottom legs down just like that.
Move back just a little bit.
What's that?
Move back a little bit so we can.
Alright. So you're going to see there your legs are, your bottom legs. Here's your handle. This is your center leg assembly. Now what you want to do is hold the board tight and pull that out. Now you're just going to undo that, pull this bottom leg down and snap it in. And there's your board. Next thing you do is you put your paper on. You'll find also that you have in your kit, you're going to have 4 clips in order to hold on your paper, and then your paint kit, that's going to be separate. So your paper and your paint kit, those are separate things, but you're going to have clips to hold your paper on. This is what it looks like from the back, completely assembled and standing up. Now what I want to show you, which is going to be very critical, is something that you have in your kit. The little bag right here, you've got some bungee cords. These are very important that you have these when you do anything on the outdoors at all. If you're set up, I'm away from that board right now, and the way it's setting up, if a wind were to come by, that would act as a kite, and it's going to go with the wind. These were very important that you have in order to be able to secure this. You need to either take this, set it up next to a pole, a post, through a fence, some way, take these bungees and bungee this board off. If you have no place at all in order to be able to bungee this board, then what you need to do is you need to have a team with you, and you have one person that's going to stand behind the board during your entire meeting and hold that board. If you don't, you can have an accident and it can cost you your day, it can cost you I don't know what, if somebody out there in your crowd gets paint on them or if the board hits them. So you don't want to take a chance. This board must be secured when you're using it outside at all times. That's not a suggestion. I mean, that's an absolute that you should do at all times. Here's what the front of your board is going to look like. You can see on this side, you've got the place to hold your paint kit, if that's the way you decide to do it. Now, if you're left-handed, we have a recommendation on that. You would take these clips that are going to hold your paint kit and move them to the other side using the same dimensions that we used on this side. So it's just a matter of preference as to where you stand on your board. If you're right-handed, they go to this side. If you're left-handed, they would go to the other side. It just keeps the paint kit out of your way. All right, What I wanted to do also is I wanted to show you how to take the board down once you have it standing up. Your meeting's all done. You want to get the board down, pretty much as quickly as possible so that you don't have any problems. The easiest way to do that is to grab a hold of your center leg assembly and hinge that towards you. Now you can hold on to it, nobody has to hold it, it's not going to go anywhere. And then just flip this up and snap it back into that bracket, just like that. Now take your board and flip it that way. It's the easiest way of doing it. Take this leg, bring it down. Oh, sorry. Take the leg with the bracket, bring it down first. Take the other leg, snap those in together, just like that. Sometimes the easiest way to carry the board, depending on how tall you are, you can adjust that handle either up or down, or sometimes for myself, I grab the board from here and carry it. But depends on you, like this. You want to also make sure that you don't have a lot of paint on the bottom of your board when you're trying to carry it. Otherwise, you're going to end up with whatever your jacket, your shirt, or whatever it is you're wearing. So you just want to be aware of those kind of things. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day.